Humminbird SmartStrike. What is it, right? When you buy the SmartStrike chip, you're getting all the HD data just like any of the other chips that we have, but you're also getting basically like an advanced algorithm that's built onto that chip to help you find fish faster. So it's great for your weekend angler, your everyday angler, and even your professional angler. I'll use it sometimes just to help eliminate water. So let's dive into this. I'll show you the menu system, how you can get in there, set the parameters so that you can find fish a lot faster using Humminbirds SmartStrike. To access the SmartStrike menu on a Helix unit, we're just going to go to our map screen. We're going to press the check button. It's going to bring up our SmartStrike menu. Now here's where we can go into the displays and make it as complicated as we want or as simple of a search as we want. So we go down here. If you have a chip that has multiple lakes on it, you can select the lake. So if you're sitting at home and you're doing some research while your boat's in the garage or in the driveway, you can do that. You can clear all the search results, and here you can clear all the criteria that you put in. Next, we scroll over to the species. Now here's where we can search by the exact species we want, and there's a ton of different fish in here. So we got largemouth, smallmouth, you got bluegill, crappie, catfish, stripers, walleye, muskie, perch, spotted bass, you name it, it's in there. So we'll go to largemouth, time of year, we're gonna go summer, time of day, let's go dawn or dusk, weather, we've got clear skies, wind, it's calm, and then the water's got a murky or some stain to it. Now from here, we can go ahead and execute a search, and if you watch, this will start doing the search and it'll identify different points. Now this is a very vague search, so it's going to come up with a lot of data. When the data loads and we look at the map, when we're zoomed out, it just gives us these pink, basically fish symbols. Now as we zoom in, it's going to narrow those down and actually just highlight the map in little pink squares. So we come over here, and just with the data that we've put in already, you can see this is a main lake point that comes out. And you can see I already have a waypoint on here because I know that there's fish there. I've already graphed this spot. So kind of validating the software and it actually working. I mean, I know that there's fish on this point right here. But you can see it's kind of vague. It's highlighted a bunch of different areas. So if we want to go in, now let's go ahead and change that. So let's go back into our SmartStrike. We can clear the results. So let's go ahead and do that. Then we've got all our fish species in there. Now let's go into the advanced. All right, there's also preset searches in here. So if we go into the presets, you can either do it by shallow, mid-depth, deep, or other. And in the shallow, we've got structure, you got spot on spot. It also has feeding shelves. Mid-depth, we're looking at structure, spot on a spot. Same structure, spot on spot, feeding shelves for the deep. And then when you go into the other, there's drop-offs, structure at weed line or even at thermocline, and there's additional things that you can set in there. So you can get really in depth with this. Lake region, we can separate it between the entire lake, just main lake, inlets, coves, bays, the sides of channels. I mean, you can really dial this in and narrow it down. And also the additional feature of this is if you find fish in a particular area, then you can come in and dial in exactly what you found, and it'll replicate those areas where you did catch them. So you can really narrow down like, hey, I found them here, and then put those specifics in there. So one I like to use is this depth range. I'll use between, and I'll set this for the depth that I've been catching them, and then highlight those areas which will replicate where I've already found fish. So between like 8 and 12 on some gradual, and we can select multiple here too, on some moderate or even some sharp slopes. Then we exit out. Okay, and we're looking at points, humps, inside bends, and we execute our search. And then again, it will go through and highlight different areas on the map that we need to look at according to the data that we put in. All right, so there you can see you can get really advanced with the SmartStrike technology, or you can just use kind of basic, get yourself started, start finding fish, and then you can go in and dial in the settings and then replicate those areas that you did find fish throughout the lake. So definitely next time you're getting ready to purchase a map card, give the SmartStrike chip a look, and or you could just go directly to Humminbird's website and using Chart Select, you could download your individual lake and then just add that layer, which generally it's only about $4.99. To add that layer to your existing lake map that you buy on Chart Select. So definitely check those out. Check out Humminbird SmartStrike. Go out there and catch yourself more fish.